Like you'll lose the bigger picture. Like, yeah, go ahead and do it and enjoy it. Like enjoy it. Like, oh, I want this perfect and
Hmm.
that's cool and I want to do that. That's great. But the rumination makes you miss the, oh, is this something that I want to drink?
Mm-hmm.
It misses the like, oh, what's the total vibe of this thing and how much does it connect with me?
Yeah, perhaps rumination was the wrong. I think what I'm specifically trying to get at is the level of detail orientation, and this could be better,
Right.
right? This could be
Yeah. Always.
neater, tighter, more precise.
Yeah.
And that most people believe confidence comes from being really good at what they do and never messing up,
Right.
right? In many ways, when you look at your tweet, you go, well, like I could be better. This could be less messed up. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Like you can
Could have used
perform,
one less word.
yeah, you can
Yeah.
perform some lexical Brazilian jiu-jitsu fuckery to end up in a place where this sentence is just you talking about your tweeting. And
Right.
you're being like, well, this just is a justification for accepting suboptimal tweets.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I just think Ryan Long, the reason I used the comedy thing, Ryan told me about this. We were talking about it a few months ago. And he's a real craftsman when it comes to the way that he puts his sets together. And he does these sort of like real zingy one-liners and stuff. And he said, I realized that it's real tough for me to compartmentalize and draw boundaries around, I want you to be this detail oriented and this sort of obsessively focused and precise and all of the rest of the stuff within the domain of comedy.
Right.
But I don't want you to go, it's going to bleed out into your nature. It's going to bleed out into other areas of you.
It doesn't for me. I don't know what I've never really looked at
Interesting.
this deeply. I am very precise about certain things. If I'm putting together a workshop, we are, every time we do a workshop, we refine it to make it even more powerful, even more, it doesn't matter. We get a 90, whatever, 5% completion rate. I don't care. I'm like, how do I make this better? How do I make this more useful?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not like that when it comes to the performance of somebody that works with me because because it kills my connection. So in my system, there's a prioritization of connection. I don't know how that happened. So I'm not sure if I have any wisdom or valuable thought on it, but I just know that to me, that only happens when it helps me feel connected.
Mm-hmm.
And then but if it doesn't, if I feel disconnected by it, it stops.
Mm. Yeah, that's interesting. I did just that, whatever you want to call it, curse of competence, curse of the sort of that inner voice. But it's this particular suite of traits where people want to achieve well, they want to create work that they're proud of, they want to work hard at things, but they also know that like the whole reason they're doing this is to kind of enjoy it
Right.
ultimately.
Exactly.
And if they whip themselves into submission, they can look back on a career of a string of miserable successes
Right.
and
Yeah.
go, hooray.
Yeah.
What do I do with this?
Yeah. I mean, I've had a lot of clients who've found themselves exactly that. I've got everything that I always wanted, except I'm not happy.
Mm-hmm.
And that is a unbelievably common thing because they were chasing happiness with a bad strategy
Through success.
through success.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or money or power or influence or whatever.
Mm.
But the like gold medal happiness is whatever the 5 minutes on the podium or maybe a couple days if you're lucky.
Mm-hmm.
Happiness, comes from understanding yourself. It doesn't come from achievement. Long-term happiness, short-term happiness, definitely achievement. And I think Eckhart Tolle says this, which I really appreciate. He says, the reason that we're happy when we achieve something is because we have a moment where we don't want anything else, which I think is like a brilliant thought process.
So I was talking to Naval. I didn't actually bring this up with him, but I put it in here because I wanted to say it to you and see what you thought. Happiness is the state where nothing is missing. When nothing is missing, your mind shuts down and stops running into the past or the future to regret something or to plan something. Happiness is the state where nothing is missing.
Yeah, I mean, we just experienced that when I said don't go into the past or the future to find something wrong with you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's exactly. The dilemma with that is that for years, people are like, be present and that'll make you happy. And then what people do is they say, why am I not fucking present? I should be more present,
Mm-hmm.
which is the opposite of presence. And so presence as a modality is a very slow moving, it takes a lot, like 10 years to constantly practice presence to get there.
Mm-hmm.
But there's but there's other things like connection, which is always there. Presence is also always there, but like I can find connection right now here with you, and I don't have to try for it.
Mhm.
And presence is the same way, but presence isn't quite as easy to see. I can feel a connection with you. I can feel a connection with even the microphone. I can feel a connection with myself. It's like a very right there.
Mhm.
I'm always having an emotion. I can always have that experience of letting that emotion ride through me. They're like very simple things where presence somehow, at least the way in our society, it's like, I got to get off my phone. I have to do this thing. I have to be present.
Mhm.
Instead of even, I'm on my phone. How do I be more present on my phone? Wait a second. Actually, the more efficient thing is, what about me is right now present on my phone?
Mhm. Mhm.
And so even that idea of I have to do something to get there by I have to be more present is is a moving away from happiness,
Mhm. And happiness is self-understanding.
self-understanding. Because once you understand yourself, then you realize there's nothing wrong.
Heck yeah. Joe.